Hello there. We'll just leave it as it is. Today is a coffee quickie. We just have one thing to look at, and it's something that will either set me up for success today or potentially ruin the rest of my day. Let me show you. Occasionally I kind of find these one-off things that don't necessarily make sense in the context of like a long video, but I thought we'd brew it, I thought we'd try it today, and we'll kind of see what happens. This is some of the internet's spiciest coffee. Now I happened to stumble upon this because of some very unfortunate souls who were making cocktails with this, but I thought we should actually brew it and find out what it tastes like as a coffee and not simply as an ingredient. Now, as you can see on the front of the packaging, this is made by Roasty Buds, and they are one of those coffee companies that do kind of a variety of slightly more gimmicky coffee. So as you see here, we have their extra spicy coffee. They also have like a barbecue coffee and a couple others along with some of your more standard dark and medium roasts. However, let me read you the front of this. This is their extra with 3 X's, insane spicy Carolina Reaper pepper coffee, and it's a medium roast. So that's kind of exciting. As with a majority of these sort of like flavored coffees, this is coffee and also kind of a combination of natural and artificial flavors, usually that are applied in some sort of like oil to the actual bean, so that you can have those kind of less coffee flavors while you're also drinking your coffee. I'll also note that these 2 buddies right here are supposed to be your taste buds, which mascots are cute. I like these. But let's get into this bag. Now I will note that when I am filming this, it is like 9 in the morning and this is my first cup of coffee, which is why I said this could either set me up for so much success or potentially ruin the rest of my day. Now I consider myself pretty withstanding to spicy food. I like it, I think I can tolerate it pretty well, but I haven't ever really done any of those like spicy challenges, Carolina Reaper challenges, just eating the spiciest pepper for the fun of it challenges. But I suppose this is my version. I just broke the seal. I have not even opened this bag up. I can already smell it. This is there's a strong pepper scent coming off here. Oh, it is, whew, it's pungent. Many smells happening here. Let me get a little closer. Okay, I don't know if you're supposed to stick your face in it. That is just a punch of pepper smell to the face. Well, let me grab a bowl. Let's get these out. Let's take a look. Okay, so we have some beans here. These are definitely not as dark as I thought they were gonna be. They do look to be a pretty true medium roast, which I'm excited about. A medium roast for I think these flavored coffees tends to work best, being that you still get a bit of like coffee flavor along with the additional flavors. It's not as roasty as like a dark roast. Just kind of have the urge to. Oh, that was a mistake. These are coated in spice. Not that I want to do it again, but I want to give it a little bit more of a fair shot this time. I'm not even gonna bother chewing on these beans, which was my intention with putting them in my mouth. These are suitably spicy. Let's get brewing. We'll get our water going on the side. Let's do about 15 grams. We're gonna do a smaller cup here. Because of how much coating there is on these beans, they actually kind of sound and feel almost a little bit damp. There is a lot of flavor packed onto these things. I'm also gonna just have to remember that I have put spicy beans through this grinder before I use it again. My mouth is still, it's so spicy. It's not unbearable, but that one spot that coffee bean sat on my tongue is just, it's a little toasty in there. Not that I think it particularly matters with this coffee, but we're using the Kalita Wave today. Okay, 15 grams of coffee. Now that we have actually ground the beans and released a lot of the aromatics and just like stuff that is trapped inside coffee, it smells a lot more like coffee. It smells decent, all right. You don't get nearly as much of the pepper as when you just open that bag and get blasted by everything that's stuck to the sides of the bag. Okay, our water has reached an appropriate brewing temperature. Let's get started. We're gonna brew as usual. Nothing really different here. What's the, I think it's Pavlov's dog or whatnot, where it's like you ring the bell and the dog starts salivating because it's trained to do that. Whenever I kind of hear coffee brewing, it's like I start salivating a little bit, even if I know in my brain that what I'm brewing might not be that enjoyable. It's a very Very strange occurrence. All right, final drawdown is happening. I have a nice little cup to drink from. Okay, that is the end of that. And now we play the fun game where we hop over to the sink real fast. And then we clean up the trail we left on the way back. All right, we have some coffee. It smells mostly of coffee. There is a slight kind of like vegetal undertone that smells a little bit peppery to me, but it doesn't necessarily have that just like intense spice as it did before, which I'm hoping bodes well for a little bit more flavorful cup, not as dangerous of a cup. Cheers. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh dear. All right, we have to allow this 2 sips, I think. I don't know whether I'm immensely impressed or just horrified by what has been brewed in this cup. As some of you more long-term watchers will know, I have done a good amount of videos on like kind of ridiculous flavored coffees, and some of them, for as ridiculous as their like flavor combinations are, they don't really taste like that. And some of them do taste a little bit more like it. This definitely falls into the latter category. That is spicy. And that spice really maintains throughout the sip. Not that I doubted them in any way, like with 3 X's, I figured this had to have some level of spice to it once it was brewed, but that's a little bit of a gut punch. It is very hard to get the actual flavor of the coffee over just the sensation of kind of burn that happens, because it is a long lingering burn. It really sits on your tongue and just like lasts. You get the most of it while the coffee is actually in your mouth, but still, it's been, you know, a minute or so since I've had my sip now. It is still very present. It's not a bad burn. This isn't like insanely spicy if you were thinking about it from like maybe a food perspective, but for a beverage, I think this is pretty spicy. That's a little impressive how well they managed to maintain the spice throughout this all. Well, I suppose if you would like to challenge your own taste buds with some spicy coffee, this is probably the one I suppose I would recommend. Maybe not for casual drinking, but a good prank I think one could do with this. Not sponsored, just a little coffee quickie today. So, well, this was fun, interesting. I don't know if I would recommend this for casual drinking, but there you go. If you're looking for spicy coffee, that might be a pretty decent option. Now, I don't know if I will actually be able to go finish any more of this, considering I do have a long day ahead of me and I am tempted to brew some other coffee, but I'll have a couple more sips just to enjoy the kind of spiced coffee experience that I don't often get. But anyways, good to see you all. My name is Morgan. You can find me here on YouTube once a week, plus YouTube Shorts. Additionally, you can find me on TikTok or Instagram almost every single day. This was a good time. I will see you all next week. Goodbye.